Hello, this is Nick, and you are tuned in to the Queen Bros podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Queens Bros. I'm your host, Joe, here with my boy, William Gallego.
Yeah, there you go. You see, I told you you'd say it again.
I had a little request from his sister that I have to say it the Spanish way because, you know, my whiteness be showing sometimes.
It was, more than one person, but mostly Spanish speakers.
All right. That's okay. I understand. But we have a very special guest today who used to be on multiple episodes, but kind of took a break. And now, obviously, my co-host over here, he's kind of...
I'm his replacement.
Yeah, he's kind of his replacement. We got my boy Nick over here, my brother.
Hello.
What's up, man?
What's going on?
Ready to talk some baseball?
Let's go. Let's do it.
So it is the most beautiful time of the year.
It's really cold outside.
It's freezing in here.
It is really cold outside, but it's the most beautiful time of the year because today baseball has begun. Actually, it began yesterday. I apologize. It began yesterday, but baseball has begun. Spring training is here. Spring is in the air. Birds are chirping. Still got snow on the ground outside, but it's okay because we know baseball is approaching and baseball is here. And how you guys feel?
Juan Soto's a Met, baby. Let's go.
Home run, first at bat. What more can you ask for? Let's get the season started. No more injuries.
10 minutes ago, Juan Soto came up, his first at bat as a Met, and just plastered one dead center. And it's going to be a fun 15 years.
Maybe not the whole 15, but most of it.
If we get a couple of championships out of it, I don't care how it looks at the...
A couple. I just want one, man. I'm not greedy.
Right now, I just need a championship under my belt because I feel like it's impossible. At this point, being a Met and Jet fan, I feel like it's absolutely impossible to see a championship. I'm not going to believe it until we're there, until we win. Because even in 2015, like when we were in the World Series, I didn't believe that we're going to win until I would see a final out.
It's so hard to win in baseball. Like, every sport's hard to win a championship, but it's so hard in baseball. And the Mets, they've gotten close a few times, but it just never happened. But this time period is the best chance we're ever going to have to win a ring. So let's see what happens.
We need some pitching.
That's for sure.
I don't like the Mets pitching, to be honest, the starting, but I didn't like it either last year. And you saw what they did last year. They weren't great, but
They were good. They did their thing, to be honest with you.
They were probably about middle of the pack in the entire league. I think they were like 19th last year in value. I think with Senga back, they'll be okay.
Like, I think baseball has changed where you don't need that dominant pitching anymore. Like, would you rather have dominant pitching and middle of the pack hitting, or would you rather have dominant hitting and middle of the pack pitching?
I mean, I think that if you look at, for example, the Rangers a couple years ago, Nate Eovaldi is a pretty solid pitcher. He's a pretty good pitcher, but I wouldn't put him as like a top 5, top 10 pitcher in the league. Jordan Montgomery. I know they had Max Scherzer, but he didn't really do anything in that run.
And DeGrom was hurt.
Yeah, I think, did they have Haney that year?
Maybe, yeah.
So it's one of those things where I think Stearns is taking a different approach. Even the Dodgers last year, yeah, okay, they had Yamamoto back, but they were basically babying him in the playoffs up until they got to the World Series. Jack Flaherty, Walker Buehler, he had a pretty rough start against San Diego. They threw a couple bullpen games. Like, the Dodgers weren't throwing at you top 5, top 3 guys in the league. They were relying on their team to bring the best out of pitchers, and I think that's the same approach that Stearns is taking. I mean, you have even the Tampa Bay Rays for a couple of years. They've been able to maintain and sustain success with, cheap pitching, right? And it's probably not what most people would consider ace-like, but, I think that that's the new way of building a team, or at least that's Stearns' way of building a team. You have a strong back end of the bullpen, which I think the Mets are pretty good there. The lineup is elite, and the rotation is kind of held together by Scotch tape sometimes. But, I think it's better than last year. I do. I think Senga is better than last year. I think Manaea will be better than last year. Senga obviously missed virtually all of last year, so I think he's an upgrade over anybody we had in the rotation. Health is a big key, but honestly, with pitching in baseball, health is the issue with anybody. So it doesn't even matter if you're talking about Garrett Cole or whatever.
I don't think you need that dominant starting anymore where you have kind of like, I guess, the Braves in the 90s where they had, 3 Cy Young type pitchers.
Even that team only won one World Series.
That's true. That's what I'm trying to say is that once you get to the playoffs, the normal of the pack could be the guys that kind of do it for you.
And don't get me wrong. I would have loved for the Mets to go out and get Burns or Snell or Fried.
I wouldn't.
It's not Stearns. That's not Stearns' way. And
I wanted Snell, actually.
I wanted any of them. I mean, I'm not really high on Snell, but yeah, any one of them would have been nice. But I see what Stearns is trying to do. He's trying to build what he did in Milwaukee. Bringing pitchers up. And
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't want Snell at all.
I prefer Snell over Montez. That was a weird signing.
Do you prefer Snell over Manaea?
I mean, he's a better pitcher. I like Manaea.
I think Montez was always going to be like a 4th, 5th guy. Like, everybody's always talking about how Montez, how's he going to replicate Sevy's year? Sevy didn't have like a great year either. Like, he had a solid year and he was very useful, but the Mets basically changed his entire profile. And
here's my issue with what Stearns did, and I trust Stearns. I think he's great, but for what he signed, Montez and Griffin Canning, he could have got Walker Buehler. Like, I just feel like that is a better investment than those 2 pitchers.
I don't. I think they're pretty much the same. I think Buehler has his own question marks. He was pretty bad last year when he pitched. He had a couple good starts in the playoffs, closed out the World Series, granted, but I think he has just as many injury questions. I also think that with Buehler specifically, he, second Tommy John surgery, he pitched half the amount of innings that Montez pitched last year. So realistically, obviously Montez is hurt now, but going into the year, I would probably say that it would be easier to get more innings out of Montez than it would be Buehler. Typically teams don't like to give a player too many more innings, but I think Buehler in the regular season threw less than 80 innings. So, you combine that with the playoffs, Montez threw about 150. Like, those things matter, right? Yeah, the idea is you want somebody to just fill the innings, get you there, and let the offense win some games. Now, again, you can disagree with the strategy. I understand the concept behind it. Do I think that Montez is going to be some otherworldly pitcher? No. But second year removed from shoulder surgery, we'll see what he looks like. He was a really good pitcher for a few years. There have been pitchers that have left the Yankees after pitching poorly. Sonny Gray, for example, who've shown that they can pitch away from Yankee Stadium and they're still talented. Yeah. Jordan Montgomery.
I would like trading for him, but
I think that it just goes to show you that you don't need to do it one way, and it also goes to show you that, like, you can talk about that money, okay, but they're still paying 2 guys for the price of 1, whereas, like, okay, Montez is hurt now, that's where Canning comes in, right? Remember last year I wanted Giolito, he got hurt. Okay, you're getting 2 guys for the price of 1 that are going to put up, I think, similar value. I don't see Buehler as the guy from 3 or 4 years ago, so I don't see...
But at his best, he is an ace-type pitcher.
When he hasn't been that in years. I could be wrong, but I think that he's not going to be that top of the rotation guy anymore.
Let's say we got him, and are you going to be happy about that?
I mean, of course, but like, are we getting him because you wanted him to replace Manaea?
No, I wanted him to replace Montez.
So exactly. So if you want him to be a 4 or 5, I'd rather get 2 low end guys than put your eggs in one basket with Buehler. Like, I don't know. Like, what did Buehler do? Even if you watched the game last year against the Mets, man, we were so close to knocking him out of the game at Citi Field. We just couldn't get the big hit.
I thought for the price it was worth the risk, but yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Boston is in a better position because they have a lot more depth. Never mind the young guys like Cutter Crawford or what's his name, Houck. Never mind those guys, right? You're talking about, like, they have a lot of depth. Now they got Giolito coming back. They traded for Crochet. Like, they have a lot of options, and so giving $21 million to Buehler versus $44 million to Canning and $17 to Montez, like, I just think they're very similar pitchers, in terms of, like, the production you can expect out of them, and it makes more sense to get multiple guys. I mean, we started, what's his name, the pitcher that used to pitch for the Braves? We started him against the Braves last year, 1 start. What's his name? Forgetting his name right now. It's kind of annoying.
I forgot, yeah, but I know what you're talking about.
And so it's like, instead of starting guys like that, it makes more sense to, like, have other guys who've had success in the Mets. The Mets don't have a big pipeline
They don't.
That's why you think McGill keeps getting chances. Yeah. Julio Teheran, right? So they ended up starting Julio Teheran 1 game last year, right? We don't have guys in the upper minors that can make a spot start like McGill. We just don't have that. Like, it's just a fact. So that's why we need to sign a guy like Canning. You know, and to be honest, I don't want to put Budo in a situation where he's bouncing back and forth.
I don't. I want him to stay in the bullpen, stay in the pen.
And then if another need arises, maybe you switch out Holmes and Budo. That's why I also like the Holmes signing. You can do so many things with him at $12 million a year.
I didn't mind the Holmes signing.
Put him in the bullpen or put him in the rotation. Right now upstairs in the game, he's at 3 innings, 4 strikeouts, no hits, no walks. Like, the guy will put up work. I know people are going to talk all that talk, but he will put in his work.
I hope so.
If Holmes can kill it, that would be huge for us because I see Holmes as kind of like irrelevant.
No, he's not irrelevant.
I see Holmes as a guy that I don't know if he's going to be able to be in the rotation all year. That's how I see him.
I like the Holmes signing.
I know Holmes has good stuff, and I know I talked a lot of shit about him last year.
You definitely did.
It's because he was a Yankee, and I got to do that. I got to troll, you know what I mean? I know he has stuff. I know he has filthy stuff, and I believe he also learned a new pitch. I think a new changeup or something like that. He learned something. He learned,
he's starting a changeup.
Yeah, he learned like a new pitch. I really think he has great stuff to be a successful starter in the majors, but I don't want to believe it. So I kind of like don't get my hopes up. Oh, Holmes is going to be nasty. I'd rather just have low expectations. And then if he pitches well, great. I'm like, oh my God, like, let's go. We got to, Sean Manaea from last year where Sean Manaea to me, bro, was like, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I didn't know if you guys felt the same way when we got Sean Manaea. I was like, all right, cool. I mean, he kind of looks like Roman Reigns.
He changed his arm angle, and apparently that now he looks like Chris Sale. Like,
if we could have something like that where we have a guy that came in here and Stearns did his thing again, saw something in this guy, brought him in as a starter, and then he kills it, I'm fine with that.
I trust Stearns, man.
I'm very excited. Spring training's here. It's the best time of the year, in my opinion. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I'm hyped.
I prefer the regular season. By like 2 weeks in, I'm like, let's start the season.
It's probably going to be a little bit of a hot take, but sometimes I like spring training more than the playoffs.
Wait, what'd you say?
Spring training, I like it more than the playoffs sometimes.
It's because you're not used to seeing the Mets in the playoffs a lot.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, bro.
That's why. So like
That's what I said, hot take.
You're used to watching playoffs without the Mets, so you're just kind of like, eh.
Bro, look at the moments in the playoffs the Mets had. Alonso's home run.
Let me give my reasoning.
And whatever you say is dumb, but go.
First of all, beautiful weather.
The dumbest thing I ever heard.
You can't even watch the games.
It's not beautiful weather where we're watching it. It's freezing.
It's true, but that's why I like to go to Port St. Lucie. Number 2, there's no stress, bro. There's no stress. You just relax, chill out.
That's not fun.
Watch Juan Soto hit his first home run.
I want stress.
Chill out. And, you get to see the prospects. You get to...
I like that aspect of it. I just think saying that it's better than postseason is just the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
You know what I mean, bro? It's not better than the postseason. It's just sometimes the no stress, going to a baseball game, relaxing, under the sun, in the berm, in Port St. Lucie. You've been there with me. It's beautiful.
Those moments in the playoffs, the Alonso home run, the Lindor grand slam, those are moments that are going to be ingrained in Met fans' brains for the rest of eternity.
But do you know what I had to go through to get to that point? Do you understand? William Gallego, do you understand what I had to deal with to get to that point with Alonso's home run?
You mean last year?
Yes.
I think we were all there.
Yeah, in May, it looked really bad in May.
No, but I'm talking about the Alonso home run in general. In the postseason, I had to go in the backyard. I started crying a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I cried after the home run as well. You go through a lot of emotions with the postseason. I love the postseason. Baseball postseason is the greatest postseason ever. But, sometimes spring training, you just relax. I don't really like spring training more. I don't really like spring training more than the postseason.
Thank God. They got to clarify that.
Sometimes spring training is just nice. You get to chill out in the sun, watch the Mets. Maybe meet David Wright at a cafe, and you just chill out and just relax.
There goes the credibility of the podcast. We're now advocating for more spring training, less playoffs.
You hit it on the nail. Sometimes as a Met fan, we're not really in the playoffs often. So
that's gonna change.
Yeah, that's changing, bro. Stevie Cohen is here. I
gotta say, we have competition though. It's not gonna be a walk in the park. Like the NL is no joke.
I said last week. Yeah, we have a juggernaut. But let me say this: Stevie Cohen was pissed off at all us Met fans. I mean, shouldn't really be pissed off at me. I went to 28 games last year. Yeah, Willie goes to a lot too. The one sitting over there, that guy, Steve Cohen, if you're listening, the one that's sitting right there in that corner, This man went to maybe 3 games in the last 3 years. So that means 1 game a year.
Yeah, but I have kids. You guys don't.
It's not fair to like tell people how to spend their money. What I will say is that the Mets do offer opportunities to go to games slightly cheaper, right? Like for those of you who don't know, you can go to Costco. There's like a bundle over there. I think it's like for $90 you get 2 tickets and food, $100, something like that. Now $100 is still not an insignificant amount of money, but there are other ways to go to the games where you save money. Everybody wants to talk about public transit and all that. All right, whatever. I think public transit is fine. There are people that want to pretend it's like the worst thing in the world, but it is what it is. But the other options that you have, okay, they talk about parking is expensive. Citi Field is surrounded by a lot of residential areas. You don't have to park in the $40 parking lot. As a matter of fact, I've never done that. That's
Me too.
So expensive.
I've never parked in the parking lot, and I drive every single time I go to the game.
You can park on 114th and Northern, walk across the bridge on the Van Wyck, and just get to the game. Like, that's what I do the majority of the time. I've also biked to games personally, but I live close, so it's a little bit easier for me.
I go to the game. I go to the parking lot.
Yeah. And how long does it take you to leave the parking lot?
Wait,
like,
hold
it's
on.
ridiculous.
Hold on. So tell you heard what you just said, right? You walk over the Van Wyck.
Yeah.
Tell them about the story when you went to the game with me.
Yeah, he parks 7 miles away, and then he wants me to cross the highway to get.
Literally what you just said.
There's a path you can cross on. You're not like playing Frogger.
I'm playing Frogger, bro. I'm playing Frogger. Yo, it's crazy.
No, you're not.
No, it's
You park right by 114. There's a park there. You cross you cross the highway. There's a path for pedestrians and bikers. Like there's inexpensive ways to go to the game.
And you could also bring food to the game. They allow you to bring food to the game, which is
The other thing that a lot of people don't talk about is you like, okay, I get it. You want to go to the premium games. You want to go to the Yankees, Dodgers in town. There's nothing wrong with going to a Marlins game on a Tuesday night, man. I've gotten some really good tickets on a random Tuesday night for like $50, and I'm just sitting right behind the Mets dugout. It's just one of those things where like it'll take some effort, but there are some inexpensive ways of going to the game.
So
you can also park at. I'm sorry to cut you guys off.
No, go ahead.
At that the park, the mall center that they have with like the Target and stuff. It's right up Roosevelt.
that's not far.
It's like $7-8 to park there for the length of the game. Like that's another option. Like there are options to get around the parking situation. I think people who talk down about public transit are ridiculous, but whatever. We can move on.
You mentioned you don't have to go to the premium games. Those are not the games that Steve Cohen and co are worried about. Those are not the games because those games sell out all the time anyway.
Yeah.
It is the Marlins on a random Tuesday. That's the games that Steve Cohen is like, why are we in a pennant race? Hold on, Nick, wait. That's why Steve Cohen is like, we're in a pennant race and we're not getting the numbers that we should be getting. Which is true. Like if you're in a pennant race, why are you not getting those numbers? Now I know what you're about to say. He's got to understand that people work. I guarantee you, if it's a playoff game on a random Tuesday, is it going to sell out?
Probably.
People work.
I think that to add to your point, and actually Steve Cohen also mentioned this towards the end of that interview, fans usually follow success, not the other way around. So it's like, in 1986, for example, the Mets drew more people in 1987 than they did in 86 at Shea Stadium, After 2015, 2016 is one of the highest drawing years at Citi Field. And it's all because fans follow success. So he'll see that. Like going into 2024, you guys can say whatever you want. I was probably one of the only people that thought the Mets could actually make the playoffs. I thought that they would be a little bit better than 500, about 83, 84 wins, and then they'd supplement as the year went on. A lot of people, pundits, media, nobody believed that. There were people that were out there predicting 75 wins, thinking the Mets would be lucky to get to 500. So for me, from my vantage point, I thought that it made perfect sense that people weren't showing up to these games. Like a lot of people, especially people with families, right? You can attest to this, Nicky. They're going to games by planning them out months in advance. This isn't something that's happening like week of. Again, I have the privilege of being able to roll out of bed or like I'm getting out of work and I'll just check the tickets and see if there's anything reasonable. Mind you, I'm also a season ticket holder, but I have a full pack. So if there's times during the week where I want to go to a game, I'm like, yeah, I'll go do that. Now, April weather, hell no. Those games are freezing. They're cold. I don't care.
That's the worst month ago.
Yeah, but beyond that, like, families and people, they plan these things ahead of time. It's not something that they can just do on a whim. So I understand what Cohen was saying about that, but most weekend games at Citi Field, you get good crowds, even if the Mets are not in it. So
It's the weekday games. It's just
No, yeah, weekday games, but we'll get there.
it's hard to convince people to come out during the week with kids, especially families. You know, kids have school, especially in September. He was complaining about a game against the Nationals on a Tuesday, I think it was. That's just kids just went back to school. How do you?
Can I
Man,
can
the
I ask you
Bronx-
something?
The Bronx sells out every.
Do people work in LA?
Do people work in the Bronx?
Or yeah, the Bronx too. I didn't.
Listen.
But
You're right. It comes down to success.
I didn't really want to mention the Bronx. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Why?
You ruined it.
It doesn't.
because I just
They're
didn't
New
want.
York, they're New Yorkers too.
I
Their
understand.
tickets are way more expensive than City Field tickets. And have you? And like you want to talk about the neighborhood? Like, man, you ever been to the Bronx?
Shit.
My
But
mom lives in the Bronx though, so I,
Okay.
I go to the Bronx often. I'm
What
not,
Billy said is right though. People plan this months in advance. I guarantee you, this year it's going to be a lot better crowd. A lot better during the week. I don't know if it's going to be sold out every game. I'm not going to say that, but you're going to see a lot better crowds. I don't think you're going to see the emptiness like you did in years prior.
depends how the season's going.
yeah, no.
The Mets
obviously.
are like 5-20. Yeah, you're gonna see Ghost Town over there.
Now you'll see things follow success. It's exactly what they said. Like we had a surprise run last year. The team they built on that in the offseason, and the fans will follow. It's a story as old as time. You'll see.
And we got Juan Soto, which I'm sure is going to help.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we get to watch Lindor and Soto for the next 3 or 4 years.
3-4 years. What do you say?
Lindor has like 7 years left on his deal, and in terms of being productive, I'm expecting 3 or 4 left. All right, so
How old is
3 or 4
Lindor?
years.
30?
31.
31?
Still young, man.
Agree. No, I agree.
Yeah,
These
but
days,
he plays. I mean, Judge hasn't been good on defense in years. Like, it's just a fact that when you get older, you lose a step, and he's
And he
playing
plays
a
shortstop.
premium position. Lindor makes his money because he's great at one of the most premium positions on defense, and he's a great hitter. He's not a Hall of Fame hitter by itself, but when you include the position he plays, he's absolutely a Hall of Fame player.
the Mets
So,
will never move Lindor to second base.
of course, they'll have to one day.
Well, to be honest, they never moved Jeter.
That was about exactly what I was about to say. Did Jeter ever go to second base?
He should have. They might have won more. I'm sorry, but they might have won more.
I
They
don't
might have won
disagree.
more in the playoffs. They might have won more in the regular
I-
season. Like for somebody who cares so much about winning, he
a
clearly
hard conversation,
he
but-
only wanted to win his way. That's not. Well, I mean, it is what it is. But
Well, I don't disagree with you, but I'm saying that that's how baseball is when you have these high praise guys, especially captains, which we all know Lindor will soon be the Mets' next captain. They have a hard time moving these guys to a different position.
can I just say I don't give a flying fuck about captains?
I knew he was going to say that.
Like, we've all played baseball here at different levels. There's not one point where I've been in a batter's box or on the mound thinking like, man, I gotta have my captain's back right now. You know, it's not like football or basketball where somebody baseball is so individualistic. It's like golf in a lot of ways where it's like a one-on-one battle. A captain just in baseball just doesn't make any sense to me. And if I know Lindor, he's not gonna put a C on his chest. He's gonna be like Judge. So why does it matter?
Give that man the C, bro. Give that man the C.
But why? Is he gonna play better?
No. But
Even like in
it's
the
an honor.
80s when they
It's
did
an
the whole
honor.
Keith Hernandez thing, then they did the joke of a travesty and added Gary Carter to it. Like, what are you doing with 2 freaking captains?
Well, you only need one captain. You're not going to make Juan Soto captain and Lindor.
That's what, it's just it doesn't make I don't care. I mean, if he makes it great, I'm not gonna be out here advocating against it or like, what are you doing? But I just it just the conversation is just like, whoa, what are we doing? I want to win baseball games.
Carlos recently asked Stearns about it. He went to Stearns to ask him about making Lindor the captain. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
I know you are.
I'm all for it. No, because I think it's very what's it called? It's an honor to, and Lindor should have that honor because that dude is the man. That dude is the leader that we needed on this team.
It didn't start pretty with him, but
If we win a ship, Lindor is going to be a huge part of that ship. Obviously, last year, you all know how I feel with Lindor last year. I feel like he should have won MVP. I don't care about what's going on with Ohtani. I don't think a freaking DH should win MVP. And I think that Lindor had more weight on his shoulder than Shohei Ohtani did. And you saw it in the World Series when the man was, hitless, and they still won in 5 games against the Yankees?
I mean, he like tore his shoulder. I think Ohtani was great. He was great on offense last year. I think my bigger issue is more along the lines of you're not bringing the wear and tear from defense into the batter's box. Lindor from throwing had a bum elbow a couple years ago. whether it's like, a ball nicks your finger, a bad hop or something like that. Just setting up, man, from playing baseball all those years together, whenever we'd set up, we'd always talk about, my legs and back are killing me. Setting up 1,000 times for every pitch, you're just there on your toes. And that in itself takes a lot of effort and energy. And so I think that to me is what matters. That's why when Ohtani's pitching, it makes perfect sense because the wear and tear you get from pitching. I mean, that lasts days.
You know what it is? Yeah, I agree, but I wish Lindor won, but the offensive numbers weren't close. If they were close, Lindor would have won. They weren't close. Yeah, they just weren't.
I also think that to Lindor's detriment, unfortunately, the April hurt him. For the final numbers.
Yeah, he started off bad.
Now, even though he was scolding the ball and hitting the ball hard, results matter in this business. And for 2 or 3 weeks, he was batting below the Mendoza line. He was at 169 when I went to a game in late April.
In mid-April, he was not getting.
I don't know about that, but.
Yeah, he was bad, bro.
But yeah, no. So it's a numbers game at the end of the day, and I think Lindor is great. And the MVP talk with regards to the DH, I think it makes sense. But Ohtani was that great last year in terms of the regular season.
All right, you want to do some predictions?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Okay, MVP, National and American. Who you got?
National League for MVP, I'm going to go with Juan Soto. And for the American League, I'm going to go with Bobby Witt. I just think Judge staying healthy and with no protection in that lineup, everybody talks about, what is Soto going to be without Judge? What was Judge going to be without Soto? Now, Judge has put up MVP-like years without Soto, and Soto has put up good years without Judge. But who's he gonna drive in? I don't know, man. There's so many players on that team with a sub 320 on base percentage. Is there ever gonna be anybody on base for him?
Yeah, no. I mean, 100%. Yeah, my predictions. I mean, to not be a homer. I mean, I would love Juan Soto to win, but how can I bet against Ohtani when he's pitching? I mean, that's gonna be the guy I'm picking for.
Because Ohtani has finished I think, if I'm not mistaken, one time he has finished a full season pitching and hitting. Every other time he's gotten hurt on one side or the other. When you do both, you're nobody talks about this, but his risk factor is so high. Not to mention, everybody says that hitters start to, go down and trend down in their mid 30s. Okay, so what's gonna happen for the next 5 years of that contract when he can't pitch or hit well? So now you're paying a guy. Granted, it's $2 million after deferrals or whatever, but it's just people don't talk about that contract in a genuine way. But then they talk about Soto, if a $250 million is being thrown away this year, it's over 15 years.
Yeah, I know a lot of the media. Jeff Passan was one of them.
He's making $10 million more than Aaron Judge. And to be honest, that's Aaron Judge's fault. He decided to not negotiate. He decided to just take the lowball offer of the Yankees. Yeah. He did them a favor. Soto did the league a favor. Soto did his responsibility as a player to push salaries as high as possible. Judge did not do that. Now, Judge doesn't owe anybody anything but himself, but that is a fact. He did what was best for himself, not what was best for the league or what was best for future players or pushing contracts up. No, he did what was best for himself, and that's fine. That's fine, yeah. But Soto, and you hear this talk a lot, but from other players in other leagues, you want to push that AAV, you want to push that total contract value as high as possible for the next guy to keep pushing. And everybody wants to talk about all this crap about all that money, man. Just think about how much the owners are making. Baseball generates more revenue than basketball. But, nobody wants to talk about that.
Yeah, no, agree 100%. I don't think, and again, I don't understand when fans get so into the contracts it's their money. It's not my money, it's Steve Cohen's money. Great,
So who are your MVPs?
I'm going to go with Ohtani, and I'm actually going to do a hot take with the AL. I think that J-Rod is going to have a breakout year. I think he's going to win MVP.
A lot of people talk about that Seattle ballpark being one of the hardest ballparks for right-handed batters. Yeah. And if you look at his numbers at home, my Lord, it sucks how much it affected him.
He looked great the first year, though, and now in the second year he was non-existent. But I think he's going to break out.
So I refuse to believe that Ohtani will ever lose an MVP again until he can't pitch anymore.
I do think people get bored of voting for the team guy.
No, what I'm saying is, dude, he was a freaking DH this year. He was a DH. He won as being a DH. The MLB, you already know how they coddle this guy, right? He's the golden boy, okay? He's our LeBron James.
Rightfully so.
Of course. When he's pitching and hitting, I agree. When he's a DH, he's a regular player.
I mean,
I wouldn't say regular.
You are a DH. You bat, and then you pick your ass for 50 minutes until you go bat again. That's what he does. That's his game plan. Okay?
He's really good at it.
He is. He's excellent at hitting. But if he's winning as a DH, when he pitches, he should win every year. He should never lose.
Who are your predictions?
So, I just said I'm picking Ohtani in the NL.
Production matters and health.
Well, of course, we all know Ohtani's going to hit though, and if he's pitching, you just got to give decent numbers, not even crazy, just mid 3 ERA. That's enough right there, because you're hitting and you know he's going to hit. You know Ohtani's going to hit.
Okay, look, 2018, 104 games, got hurt. 2019, 106 games, got hurt. 2020, he actually didn't even play well in 2020, but doesn't matter.
And he still won MVP in those years, right?
No, he didn't win MVP, and he won Rookie of the Year his first year. But
Which years did he win MVP?
His first MVP year was 2021, and even that year, 155 games, but he got shut down from pitching at the end of that year in 2021, right?
But he still hit though.
Yeah, he hit, but and he was 965 OPS. Okay, then 2022, he had a good year, but 157 games. I'm pretty sure that was the year he stopped pitching at the end of the year. 2023, that was the year he ended up having Tommy John that year. So it's like, how many complete years has he actually finished?
And he'll still win MVP. If he doesn't have a complete year this year, but by complete year, what are we talking? Like not playing in September?
Well, 21 and in 2023, he made 23 game starts each year. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the guy has, and then in 2022, which was actually funny, he didn't win the MVP that year. He actually that year pitched the most he had ever pitched before. So I don't understand why people are talking about him like he has these full seasons pitching and hitting. Like when he hasn't really been able to do both full time through the entire season. Like pitching, it has its own wear and tear on the body, affects the body in many ways, and hitting does too. So it's like, you think he's going to be able to do both as he continues going into his 30s?
We'll see how the Dodgers manage him. I feel like the Angels overmanaged him. I feel like they were leaving him out there to dry, kind of like a Little League coach when they just burn out their best player. I feel like that's what the Angels were doing. We'll see how the Dodgers manage him. But I can't, with him pitching this year, I can't go against him for MVP. And then in the AL, I'm going to go on a whim, and I'm going to say Gunnar Henderson.
That's not a bad take. Honorable mention, by the way, for the NL MVP, Ellie De La Cruz. I think he's going to be in the conversation.
Yeah.
You're not a fan?
Ellie.
They're moving him off shortstop.
That guy's going to be a star. That guy's a star in the making.
So you think him not playing shortstop will affect him trying to win MVP?
I mean, it doesn't have to, but...
I think that he's not going to put up like the total value that he would have as a shortstop if he's playing outfield.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Let's move on. Let's switch the category. We're going to go into a little bit talking about the NBA All-Star Game. Look at Nicky's face.
I just seen that everybody's trashing it, but
here's what I'm going to say. I honestly think the NBA needs to take notes from what the NHL did, because they had people watching hockey who I never even knew these people knew hockey existed. People I know that was watching this, I guess this All-Star Game, the Four Nations, what they were doing. I know USA, Canada championship. And the game before that, Canada booed the national anthem, and then there was fights breaking out, and USA ended up beating them. It was so highly watched, so viewed, because in the United States, hockey is such a low viewership compared to the other four major sports. We know that. And them doing this was creating so much buzz that it was spreading, and I was watching it. You were watching it. Were you watching it?
Yeah, I mean, I saw the final. I'm not going to pretend I saw the Finland matches or...
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. You saw something. You saw something.
I mean, I saw the final.
To be honest, I don't really... Like, I like hockey, but I'm not usually watching, like, a hockey all-star game. You know, I don't even watch the Winter Classics, but I was watching that. So they did something right. The NBA has so much scrutiny about what they're doing with their all-star game, and that it shouldn't exist. The slam dunk contest is a bunch of G League people.
But who cares? It's the All-Star Game. The Pro Bowl's been shit for years.
Yeah, All-Star games are exhibition games.
I do think the MLB has the best All-Star Game. I think it's fun to watch.
The Four Nations tournament attracted a lot of casuals. A lot of it, I think we would be silly to ignore the political side of it, you know, with everything that's happening with the administration and the tariffs and like the 51st state, calling Trudeau governor. Like, I think a lot of that plays into it as well. I also think that people, when they talk about these things, they love it now, but for the actual hardcore fans, the criticisms were very similar to that of the World Baseball Classic. And so what if somebody had gotten hurt like Diaz, right? Like, what if JT Miller or Adam Fox on the Rangers had gotten hurt? Not that it really makes a difference for their season, right? But it's just one of those things where, like, if a star player gets hurt and it affects your regular season, like, are you going to care? Like, how do you guys feel about Edwin Diaz getting hurt in the World Baseball Classic? I grew up watching soccer. I've seen soccer players leave their clubs to go play international matches all the time. So it was normal for me to see guys get hurt there, and now it affects my team back home. Yeah. So, like, and to me, it's just the nature of the game. Guys are going to get hurt playing. Diaz didn't even get hurt playing a game.
Celebrator.
To me, it just says that it was bound to happen. Whether it was like him running one day, jumping off a top step, just having fun. Maybe he goes to pick up his kid or whatever. Like, it was bound to happen, like, to get hurt that way. Yeah. So I think a lot of the success has to do with, you know, the politics and the turmoil that we're in right now. But I think another point of it is the fact that nobody did get hurt. I think that matters. You also have to think about what's on TV right now, sports-wise, to watch, right? Like, what are like, people, they're like addicts, right? They're fiends. They're dying for content. What are they watching right now?
No, that's true, yeah, because everything's over. Baseball's just starting spring training. Baseball's
just starting. Basketball is at their all-star break. And in terms of, like, basketball, well, a lot of it has to do with the stars not wanting to participate in the things that we want to watch, right? Like, you have guys from the G League winning the dunk contest. Like, you know, it's like, imagine somebody from AAA winning a home run derby. You know what I mean? Like,
that kid's pretty good, though.
Well, 100%. But
but
he's not one of the best basketball players in the NBA.
Yeah.
McClung, you know, he's not. Yeah. And so it's just one of those things where you go back, even if you go back to like baseball, when they do their home run derby, they're not going to do any other skills because you're not going to do a who can throw the hardest, right? Someone's going to get hurt. Like, these are exhibition games.
That would be kind of entertaining, though, for a fan to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but there's limits to it. Like, in the NBA, also, like, I love watching the three-point contest, but guys actually participate in it, right? You had Damian Lillard this year, Curry a couple years, Jalen Brunson, but the slam dunk contest, you can't really name the people who participate in it, and that's where a lot of the criticism gets levied. It's always gets into the slam dunk. Now, the All-Star game itself, man, NBA All-Star games have been terrible, just like any other All-Star game. Like the Pro Bowl, like any sport where, like, these guys are playing constantly and they have to find ways to conserve energy, take care of their bodies.
I know I sound biased, but I think the MLB All-Star game is great. I mean, as far as, like, the four major sports, I think that...
Yeah, but it's also because you watch it because you're a huge baseball fan.
I like football. I watch the Pro Bowl. They don't even tackle.
But I think it's touch
but
now.
you understand why,
Pro Bowl's
right?
touch now, right?
I get why, but it's unwatchable.
No, yeah, but I mean, in even baseball, like, again, I don't really watch it. I don't, like, I'll watch some of the festivities. I'll tune in. I'll watch, like, an at-bat if a guy of mine is playing.
You don't watch the home run derby either?
Yeah, if like, Pete's in it and then he's out, and I'll stop watching. Like,
really? I don't. The home run derby? That's enjoyable. Seeing how far they hit, that's enjoyable.
Sure, but, like, I also watch the highlights later. There's so much going on during the game. It just takes so long. Like, you know, one year...
this is why Willie was a fan of the pitch clock.
Yo, let's get this game moving, baby. I want to go home. I need to see this result. I don't need to stay here for 1 minute to watch Daisuke Matsuzaka throw one pitch.
Daisuke?
I don't need that in my life.
So I'm guessing you're a fan of Mets... what would they call that show again? Mets Fast Pitch or
Mets
something
Fast
like that?
Forward or whatever?
Fast
No,
Forward, there you
no.
go. You're not a fan of that.
No, look, man. What
Mets wait, for those of you who don't know, Mets Fast Forward is literally...
1 hour game.
I like Mets Fast Forward.
Yeah, they just jump to what is happening. It's pretty much just like highlights.
No, look, I love watching baseball. There's so much that goes into it. But I don't need to watch a minute in between every pitch. Like, what are we doing? Right now, we're at, like, does anybody even notice the pitch clock anymore?
Yeah, I started getting used to it. I hated it when it first came out. Now I started getting used to it.
And then people talking about how it's going to be an advantage for the hitters. How? If anything, to me, like, it just balances out baseball more because now you're not thinking as much. And baseball has never been a sport that you can do when you think.
But let me ask you this, and I know that there's a lot of controversy with the pitch clock. Do you think it's contributing to pitchers getting hurt?
No.
I mean, there's been people are getting, like, hurt left and right. Glass now got hurt right after the pitch clock.
No, Glass now got hurt when they banned the sticky stuff.
Oh, okay.
It was when they banned, like, the sunscreen and rosin when he was with Tampa Bay. No, so I think that probably affects pitcher health more than anything. Not being able to grip the ball.
You don't think pitch clock does?
No, I don't. I think it's an endurance thing. Dude, people I think were pitching with the pitch. Now, granted, I think velocity has more to do with injuries than anything.
Yeah.
You know, but people were pitching. Like, I've shown you highlights where, like, 1986, the Mets, the rally that they had, every single pitch was thrown within 20 seconds. Guys on or no guys on.
I don't think it's affecting injuries. I think it's affecting the older pitchers, though.
Yeah, and that is fine because, again, to me, that is a stamina issue. That is an athletic ability issue. Like, let's say in football, older guys, right? Like, never mind the fact that they're just going to lose speed, but you also lose strength. And in baseball, it's the same thing. You lose endurance. You lose strength. Like, it's a young man's game.
Look at Scherzer, look at JV. They haven't been the same.
Max Scherzer was the #1 victim of that pitch clock. Yo, the dude cannot. And it was funny because remember he was trying to. What was he trying to do? He was trying to like kind of
take advantage of
yeah,
it.
like take advantage of the system. But he failed and he died after this pitch clock came.
He'll never admit it, but it's true. Yeah.
We'll see what he does in Toronto.
All right, so today we got the breaking news that if I was an MLB ball player, I can officially play for the New York Yankees, and William can too, and Nicky over there can too. We can all play for the Yankees now if we wanted to, because the Yankees finally are big boys. They grew up, all right? They had their bar mitzvah. They're no longer going to be clean shaven, and they're big boys now, bro. Yo, you got guys coming here. They look like 13-year-old boys, and they're finally going to be able to be adults. They're going to be able to be grown men. What we mean by that is Yankees are now allowed to have facial hair, and I believe that Devin Williams has a lot to do with it. What do you think about this?
Of course, Devin Williams has a lot to do with it. He also came out saying that he went up, he spoke with Booney. Boone went and spoke to Cashman, and then they went and, you know, did their whole little powwow, speaking with other former players. I don't know. I don't like personally being told what to do about my job. Obviously, there's a certain standard and respect that you have to have, and it should go both ways. But I'm a big proponent of feel good, play good, right? Like, I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, if you're clean shaven, you feel good." No, but I think like literally, if you look in the mirror and you feel like you look your best, that confidence can carry over.
Agree.
You know, people talk about how they don't want athletes with all these chains and things, and yeah, I can get it'd be distracting, but to me, what I care about more than anything with my athletes is what's going to put you in the best position to succeed. And baseball is such a stupid, like, come on, man. When we were growing up playing, if we were in a slump, I would eat cereal with my left hand. I wasn't even a professional. I just, before a game, I was like, damn, I didn't get any hits last week. Let me try something different today. You know what I'm saying? Like, the smallest,
100%.
Sometimes you'll grab a bat, and it's a bat that you held last week, and last week it felt like crap, and today it feels good in your hands, and now you feel like you can hit, you know? So baseball is so stupid that, like, in terms of mentally, like, what can bring somebody out of a slump, that I think any little thing helps. Now, with regards to the Yankees policy, I think it's also very like outdated. Whether people want to like talk about this or not, every generation is different. Like my parents' generation, their parents' generation, everyone is different. And today's generation, today's kids, they like to express themselves differently. Whether it's like haircuts, coloring their hair. You know, I don't think the Yankees will ever allow like a Brandon Marsh beard.
Well, yeah, they don't want, like, they even said it.
Yeah, they want clean shaven. But yeah, I think the Yankees were going to end up losing free agents over this facial hair policy going forward.
I don't know if you'd lose free agents because, you know, you throw $300 million at me, I'm going to shave every day. However, I do think that it does affect things like, for example, there were rumors with Luis Castillo a couple years ago. Remember when the Yankees wanted to trade for him? But it was made clear that he wouldn't cut his dreads. Like, what kind of issues is that going to cause in the clubhouse where guys like Alex Verdugo look like creeps having to shave their entire freaking fascia, you know? So things like that. I do think that where it hurts the Yankees, where it would have hurt them before, was with players like that. Or even players who, like, you had Austin Wells talking about how he convinced himself that shaving every day is an honor. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, they finally made it. It's 2025. Finally, they allowed this, they banned this rule. But yeah, it was the right move. They're gonna lose players. Devin Williams even came out and said he'll have to, you know, figure out like if he wants to sign with them long term because of this facial hair policy.
That's actually a good point. He did say that
Players
the facial hair policy would have. Because a pitcher like Devin Williams is going to get paid no matter where he goes.
That's what I was saying.
A pitcher like Cole was going to get paid no matter where he goes. Yeah. You know, even Judge, who signed, or, you know, when he re-signed with the Yankees, like, even though he's talking about how he's going to stay clean shaven, like, this has been something that like the top guys are gonna get paid no matter what, right? So I get
Yeah.
that. And so maybe for those guys who have a choice, like where I'm gonna go, like if I'm flipping a coin, time, do I want to shave every day?
That's the thing. The people who get traded, they're being forced to shave their facial hair.
Like Andrew McCutcheon when he had to cut his beard and dreads off. That was so sad. You know how long it takes to grow your hair out like that? Johnny Damon, not that I cared so much, but like, he had to trim and, I don't know.
Yo, he looked like a caveman though. Johnny Damon was wild. That hair was.
The hair was so nice. What are you talking about? It was like,
Alright.
I think he was in like Head and Shoulders commercials.
Yeah.
Like he had nice hair. He had nice
Alright.
locks.
What's his signature look, man?
I guess the hair, but then you also put the beard into it too. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really say I give a shit. It's the Yankees. I really don't care what they do. But I do think that it's going to help them in the free agent department because as much as you say, yes, you throw a bag of money their way, they're going to come. But what about a free agent like Soto where the Mets and the Yankees were in a deadlock?
Can Soto grow facial hair?
Well, of course he can't. Soto can't grow facial hair. No, he don't have a hair on his body. My point is that, like, for example, Soto was deadlocked with the Mets. We were Mets and Yankees. We were very, very close with the deals. And there might be a player who's like, you know what? These two teams are throwing this money my way. But one team is allowing me to keep my beard, which I love my beard. My wife loves my beard. I don't want to shave my beard. And I know you say that, the Yankees might have a policy of look good, feel good. But what if that player feels better when they have a beard?
No, that's my point. Yeah.
So
I agree.
yeah.
And on top of that, most of the ladies just prefer a beard, man.
Yeah. And players should be able to express themselves when they're playing a sport.
And maybe men, I don't know, but
Jess hates me clean shaven. She hates it.
They're playing baseball. They're not working in a law firm. Like,
people who want people to be clean shaven are people who can't grow full beards. That's who. People who grow patchy ass beards.
Juan Soto.
yeah, my wife loves my beard too.
You kind of have a patchy ass beard though.
Damn.
Yo, leave me alone, bro.
Doesn't it look like patchy to you?
I look like Ed Sheeran, bro. Leave me alone.
No, I wouldn't really put you next to a picture of Ed Sheeran and say you look like Ed Sheeran. You got the color though. You got the color. He's got
Both the skin color and the hair.
You strike me more as a Chris Christie type.
Yo, why you gotta do me dirty like that, bro?
Damn. It's a little mean.
He's saying that's a little me. I got that from him.
Chris Christie?
Yeah, bro. Yo, when Nicky came out of retirement, played softball, and he was
Oh
wearing.
my God, yes. But that had nothing to do. That had nothing to do with his facial hair, man. That had to do with how he looked in the uniform.
Yeah. He was like, yo, he looks like Chris Christie in a baseball uniform. Oh, God.
Hey man, that's a Mets minority owner you're talking about.
Wait, is he really a Mets minority?
Yeah, he's like on the board too.
Oh, shit. How much percentage you got? I didn't.
Hey, Steve owns like 88, 90%
I know,
of
he
the
owns
team,
most
so
of it,
it's
yeah.
all really small.
All
I
right.
think Bill Maher is also one.
All right. You guys want to do a little trivia? I'm going to play trivia with you guys. This is going to be kind of like Stump the Swab type stuff.
Are we doing like we're answering at the same time?
It's going to be rapid fire. So, like, he'll answer one, you'll answer one. He'll answer one, you'll answer one. I'm going to give one question, and they're both going to have to...
Is this how far back you going though?
You'll see. Don't worry about it. You're both going to have to give an answer, and you're going to have to keep going until someone doesn't know an answer. You're going to have 10 seconds, though, to provide me with an answer.
Crazy. All right. Who's going first?
Go ahead, Nicky can go first.
You're going to
Nicky
want to go first.
Nicky
Trust
can
me,
go first.
because
Go
the
ahead.
beginning's going to be easy.
Okay, let's go.
Come
All
on,
right.
Nicholas.
First question, hitters in the 500 home run club. Go.
Barry Bonds.
I'm going to say Aaron,
Sosa.
Ruth,
McGuire.
Pujols,
Oh my god. A-Rod.
Sheffield.
Oh my god. Miguel Cabrera.
I don't think so, buddy.
Miguel Cabrera?
I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Am I wrong?
Miguel Cabrera is
I'm wrong. Oh my god.
on it.
Oh, he is?
Let's go! I pulled that one.
The Big Hurt. Frank Thomas.
Frank Thomas, 521.
Has to be Tomei.
Yeah, 6'12".
Man. Ted Williams?
Ted Williams is on it, 521.
Let's go.
This is where Nicky's gonna bow out.
No, I'm not. Rafael Palmeiro.
Oh, you got it.
Oh, he made it to 500?
Yeah, 569.
Let me think. We already said... Did we say Mays? Willie Mays?
No.
He's on there, right?
Of course he's on there. He's in the freaking 600 club.
Fuck. Speaking of fucking steroid users,
He's thinking of steroid users. What a bitch.
I want to say Delgado, but I know he didn't get it.
He did not.
I know.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Beltran.
No.
This
He's
dude said
He's
Beltran.
barely at like 400, I think.
I have a question.
I'm going to steal this one.
Maybe I'm. You can tell me a second. Maybe you said it and I didn't hear it. Did somebody say Babe Ruth?
I did.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember if someone said Babe Ruth. Okay.
Because he started off with his first one. And then I
Bonds.
said
Yeah, he
Ruth.
said Bonds.
And I'm going to steal it with Jimmy Fox.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, I would have lost him.
You almost threw me off with the.
Palmero one, I pulled out of my ass.
I did that thing. I was like,
Nicky was like steroid user.
Palmero.
and then he saw Palmero in his head.
Literally, that's exactly what happened. I'm like,
Did Tommy get there?
Oh, God. Yeah, Tommy's there.
I said Tommy.
Hey, that's how I got the big hurt. I was like, oh, Frank Thomas.
Damn, man. I think Delgado was like 469 around there.
I think I almost said what's his name, the Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig, but he's like at 493. Fred McGriff is like high 490s also.
Are you ready for the second one?
Who goes first on the second one?
Whoever did not go first, the first one.
I went first, so then he goes first.
Players who participated, which means they either pitched or they hit or even got on the field at one point in the 2000 World Series.
Oh man,
I'm bad at this is a problem.
Todd Zeal,
Okay, you got Zeal. That's number one.
Piazza.
Clemens. Oh wait, we're going Mets or Yankees?
Both.
Okay.
Clemens, yes.
I gotta go with my man Peyton.
Mo, fuck you.
Let's go Timo Perez.
Ooh, good one. Armando,
Let's go Mike Hampton.
Johnny Franco,
Let's go you said him already. Let's go John Olerud.
Nope, you're wrong.
John Olerud.
He was not on the Mets in 2000.
John
buddy.
Olerud was not on
Nope.
the 2000 Met
Nope.
team, my guy.
When did he go on the Mets? What are you saying?
Left after 99,
He
buddy.
left after
and he was
99.
replaced by Zeal.
And I was really upset about that too because I loved John
So did I.
Olerud, and I
Well-
wish that he was. I'm gonna be honest. I think that he would have helped in that 2000 World Series.
If Timo Perez runs, it doesn't matter.
Can we get more can we get like some modern questions, please? What? Some more modern. You know, I was like at 11.
I wasn't even watching baseball
Okay,
back
fine.
then.
Fine. I'll give you which I was gonna give first, and this is gonna be a last one. So Willie's already up 2-1. It's good. You
2-0. What do you mean 2-1?
I mean, sorry,
He hasn't won
2
shit.
zip. I apologize. My bad. You can't top him now. But we'll go into our last one. He was actually really honestly, he wasn't really watching either, but he wasn't watching baseball in 2000.
Yeah, neither was I though, Joe.
This is a human encyclopedia. though.
I just went back and looked at. I watched those games. Sadly, I've seen them. I've read almost every article about those teams.
I'm gonna win this category. I feel it.
Clemens should have been ejected.
I'm gonna win this. I'm gonna win this category. I feel it.
I'll probably let you have it just because I already won 2.
Nah, don't go easy on me. Go for real. Let's go.
I never do.
Okay. Pitchers who threw a pitch for the Mets in the 2006 season.
Oh man, this is fun.
Damn, bro. Damn, bro.
I like this one.
Willie knows guys that pitched one pitch, bro, in that season.
The whole season or just the postseason?
Whole season.
El Duque.
That's who you're starting with? Jesus Christ, Tom Glavine.
Let's go with Pedro Martinez.
Did he throw a pitch? I
Yeah.
know. Okay.
Yeah,
Dwayner
Pedro.
Sanchez,
Let's go with Steve Traxel.
Ali Perez.
Let's go with Dwayne Sanchez.
I already said Dwayner. I literally just said Dwayner,
Just said
bro.
Dwayner.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ, I'm gonna let you go again.
Let me go again. Come on.
I'm gonna let you go again,
Yeah.
but this is terrible.
I'm gonna let you slide.
He doesn't
only
even
because,
listen.
Yeah, only because Willie is like. I think he's still gonna kill you in this one, but yeah, I'm gonna let that one slide.
All right, my bad. That was on me.
Damn, you're not showing your Met fandom right now.
Bro, the closer just made the Hall of Fame,
Oh, Billy Wagner. Billy Wagner.
and I gave you that one.
Billy Wagner.
I'm gonna throw this one out there, but I don't know if I'm right. But I'm pretty sure he debuted that year. Did Mike Pelfrey debut that year?
No.
Yes, he did. Boom, Mike.
Just to have some fun with you, bro.
Yeah.
Just to have some fun with you.
Yeah.
I got a picture. Oh, no. Was he a year later? Was he a year later?
How you like that one, huh? Pull
That
that
was
one
a
out
good
my
one. That was a
ass.
good one.
Chance here. I think he was 20. He could be. This picture could be 2007, 2008. But I'm gonna say John Maine.
Bro, he pitched in the playoffs.
Okay, good. Bro, I was so young.
Nicholas, are you serious? We went to Game 6 of the NLCS where Reyes led off the game with a home run, and the starter was John Maine.
You're right. I got it.
Bro, you serious?
Yo, that was so long ago, bro.
I'm gonna go with Guillermo Mota.
That's a good pull. It's a good pull. This is where we're gonna have issues.
Bro, you've been having issues since this thing started, dude.
I'm trying to think of moment of that season, bro. You can't give me nothing like 2015, bro. Give me like 15 seconds. Hold on. We got the starting rotation was Glavin, Pedro, Steve Traxel. We had El Duque. I think relievers. We had Billy Wagner. We had
Bro, they had a lefty who was the long reliever on that team.
Bro, this kid keeps saying they got Billy Wagner, they got Dwayne Sanchez.
wait.
Come on, they had a lefty reliever.
Five.
They had
No, yo, give me 10 seconds. 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
10,
Don't
9,
count.
8,
Don't count.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Wait. Turk Wendell.
Wrong. Wrong.
No, you didn't say Turk Wendell.
I had nobody else.
You want a hint?
Yeah, tell me.
One of the pitchers in 2006 signed my jacket and passed away a little while ago.
I swear to God, Joey, that does not help me. Who passed away in the Mets a little while after? Wait. Oh! I'm so mad at myself. Pedro Feliciano.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you Darren Oliver.
Yeah, Darren Oliver. Nicky's like, who the fuck is Darren Oliver?
Bro, I can give you a submariner on that team.
I was about to say, did you guys mention? I literally just thought of him when you just said that.
Oh!
He knows him.
Oh!
Mind you, we've given Nicky so many chances.
That was not a hint.
How's that not a hit? That's the biggest hit of them all.
We're thinking the same guy, right? Chad Bradford.
Yeah.
Woo!
The guy that they traded Xavier Nady for,
That's
Roberto Hernandez.
Roberto Hernandez. You remember him, right? We got him because we traded Nate,
and Oliver Perez.
which was the stupidest trade.
I was a big Ali.
Naya panicked so much. He panicked so much.
Stupidest trade ever.
How can I forget this picture? Against Yadier Molina. Aaron Hallman. He was not said, right?
No. Howman was a good
Haaland
one.
was not said. Yeah. Hey, you got it.
Nah, I think I'm gonna be running out of people that I can say here.
Shut up. Shut up.
I'm trying to think. I gotta go through the team
Look at him,
now.
look at
I
him,
gotta
look at
go
him.
through the team and figure out like who the hell were the pitchers on that team now. All the amount of time I helped. you
Nicky's
there,
over there
Nicky.
thinking he really might win this.
Yo, come on, bro. Come on.
Yo, Nick, if you win this right now and he doesn't know it, this one's going to be less legitimate than the Astros 2017 World Series.
No, hold on. I can pull something out. I just gotta think real quick in terms of like
I'll give you some time because you give me time.
badass games. Trying to think 06, who were the players on that team? Did they have what's his name? I think Jorge Julio was later on. Was Chris Benson on that team and they traded him? No.
Good pull.
I think he was 05.
No.
I think
Yeah,
he was
no,
traded. I think he was
Benson was
traded.
gone already.
I think he was traded going into that season.
Yeah.
Was he? Oh, that was a good pull if you will.
Victor Zambrano got hurt in 05, so there's no way he pitched in 06.
Oh, what about not Scott Kazmir? No, we traded him way before that.
You know what? I mean, I don't care. I'll just end up taking the L here.
Nah, you took the win.
I'm going to guess, and I don't think this guy pitched on the Mets in that year, because I would have remembered him. But for some reason, Scott Schoenweiss is like in my head. But I don't think he pitched 06. I think he was like 07.
Yeah, Sean Weiss is not here.
And then Looper wasn't there either, because he didn't.
And Nice wasn't there either, right?
No. That's too early. Oh, I got one.
Damn it.
I don't know if he did, but I'm pretty sure it was 2006. I'm going to go with Lima.
No.
That
Lima time.
would be correct.
Let's go! Let's go! Lima!
That would be correct.
Woo! I told you, just give me
No
time.
idea how you got that. I would
I'll
have never
pull
remembered
someone.
Lima
I
on
told
that
you,
team.
just give me some. I'll pull someone out my ass.